Tetris. 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 Anyway. Hello. I'm back. I'm back. I couldn't stay away. I am extremely happy that my save game was not deleted. It's still here. It's real. Look at that. Level 11. Just gonna gloat on that for a little second. As far as I can tell, the highest mention I ever found online of a level someone else getting to in single player is 7. So, you know, I feel pretty good about this. And if it had gone, I would have been so sad. I thought Mist, being the little unpredictable guy it was, may have ruined everything and just deleted it. But it did not. We're here. It is here. I am here. And I'm going to play some Tetris. 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 This one is a little bit more difficult to get the levels right, so I hope that you can hear me over that. Let's go. I think it's using... Let me just check it's using this microphone. Yeah, it is. Yeah, cool. I don't really know how AirPods work yet. They're new. Very exciting. I have to be not tempted to look at the chat while I'm trying to play. Oh my god, it's so tall and it's so fast. Okay. Here we are, guys. Ah! Oh, Jesus. This is my very first exposure to the world of level 11. I have to clear this 3 times in under 5 minutes. And, well, let's just say I don't think this one's the one. Sorry if I'm not saying anything, it's because I'm desperately trying not to top out. Oh my god. Okay, so this is hard. Cool. Great. You know what, sure. No. Oh no. Oh no. This is genuinely embarrassing. I can't look. I can't look. It says I have a viewer. Are you here? I need support. I just need to get as many productive clears as possible. I know that sounds probably quite nonsensical, but productive clears I define as ones where they get rid of some garbage. So if I'm just getting rid of the little blocks on top, that's not productive for me, and it is a waste of my time. So if I manage to mess it up in such a way where I can't access the layers below, like say for 2 in a row, like I just did with that square, that is a big waste of time. And you might have noticed that they stick together, and that's because that's how this mode of Tetris works. Yeah, so the ones of the same colour stick together. Everything is affected by gravity, which I think makes it pretty sweet. Crap, that was a mistake. And well, we're not approaching it from a beginner level right now. It took me quite a long time to get to level 11, and it was something that I wanted to do for ages. My phone just lit up. I think someone texted me. I can't look, I'm Tetrising. At this point, I just want to clear it once. Just to prove to myself that I've not completely lost my mind. And then we'll work on trying to get the time down. So really, because I have to do it 3 times in under 5 minutes, I want the first one to be done, completely clear, at the 3-minute 30 mark latest, because that gives the best shot possible of moving on to the next round. I mean, in theory, I don't really need to prove that I can finish it from here, because, you know, we're only on like 4 high. Oh god. But you know, the second that I said that I started messing up. Just see, there we go. That's what I mean about they stick together and they cause all sorts of trouble. Mostly still images. I didn't even do anything, I just reset it a couple of times, took the memory card out. Oh come on, I can't even do it once. I'm sorry that you missed, but it was fine because it didn't work. So the soundtrack to this game is incredible. I absolutely love it. This is my favourite version of Tetris. Everyone, it's a little bit of a controversial opinion to have. Quite a lot of people in the Tetris community at large are not a fan of this version of Tetris. But you know what? I don't care. It has the best soundtrack. and it has a very fun mechanic, and I think that's all great. Yeah, basically what happened with Myst is that we made a little bit of progress, and then I tried to save it, and everything went wrong, and then we had about half an hour of just resetting it and losing things and crashing, and it just wasn't it just wasn't gonna work out. So now we're here. Because I wasn't done playing games yet, apparently. I was gonna say, like, why did no one tell me how fun it is to stream playing games? But like, people did try and tell me, and I was just kind of like, I don't really know how that would be fun because people are scary. But I'm getting over it. The next test will be to stream when I'm not completely home alone. So, because if I don't do that, I'll just never stream again. Gem's away working this week, which isn't unheard of, but it's not common. Oh, come on. Stupid. Like, so now we're down to 4 minutes left, and I've got to do this 3 times. And I just don't think it's going to happen. I really don't. I'm quite guilty of just resetting when I get to this point in a run. A run? Calling it a run. Silly. I'm using all your words, but I don't. I feel like I haven't earned it. Oh, poo. Can you swear on Twitch, or do the Twitch gods like come and smite you? I feel like most of the people I watch don't, but I don't know if that's just because they have like kids watching, or if they're just like afraid of getting cancelled by an algorithm. Come on, I just want to finish it one time. Current goal, finish it once in 5 minutes. And then we'll work on twice. And only then, after I've proven myself, can I work on finishing it 3 times. I don't think I'm even going to do it once. I don't think I have enough time. Crap. Sorry, just sending a couple quick texts. Is that allowed? I'm gonna restart. I'm restarting because there's no way I'm gonna finish it. I just want to do it one time. Just one time. Oh, this is a horrible board. I didn't think it would be such a pipe dream. Sometimes it opens and you just immediately have to do like a lot of thinking. So I've actually joined a few like Tetris communities, I guess, on like Discord and stuff, and I did introduce like the concept that potentially I would start streaming this game, and a lot of them got very up in arms that it wasn't regulation, which it wasn't to guideline, and I did not know that the Tetris guidelines were such a thing, but apparently they're a thing. And there's like certain rules about like what has to be on the soundtrack and stuff. I think it passes the soundtrack guideline actually. But not much else. There's no hold, there's no hard drop. All very important Tetris aspects. Poo. No, I can't put that in there because it all stick together. No! Yeah, so they kind of got put together in, I think, 2005 as like a set of rules for anyone who was going to make a new official Tetris game. They would have to follow these rules as to what went in and went on and everything like that. And this game is from 1999, so obviously it's from a little bit before the guidelines got put together. Actually, I think they came to effect around 2000, sorry, and there was kind of an update around 2005. But a lot of games don't actually follow them. They are literally just guidelines. But everyone in the communities gets so annoyed when people post about games that don't follow all of them. And I don't know why that is really. Because I think it's upsetting. Hello Matt, welcome back. It's upsetting when, you know, you're trying to play. You're just trying to have fun, right? You're trying to play a nice game. You're trying to share the nice game with other people in the community that supposedly will like the nice game that you're playing. And, you know, they all just kind of... Everyone's very aggressive about it, that's all. Obviously not everyone, some people are nice, but the general consensus of the community is that this isn't a real game. I think the pressure of playing on stream does make me play a little bit better. Sometimes. Sometimes it makes me play a lot worse. I feel like it just makes me tend towards the two extremes. I see that I have a message, but I cannot read it until it's over. Because it would be stupid to even think about it. Stop thinking about it, Emma. There's no messages there. No one knows you exist. It's fine. I hope the balance of the microphone with the music is okay, by the way. I didn't actually test it with Tetris today, so going in blind. But I think it's good that I have the AirPods. I find them a little bit muffled, but I think generally overall the trade-off with actually being able to hear what I'm saying is worth it. And you know, I'm not about to go and buy a new microphone or anything for streaming. I just can't be bothered. Maybe, you know, if there were more people here, I would do that, but that's not gonna happen. That's it. I'm just here for fun. Well, I did it once. Yeah, I mean, so I think people do it because they're very, you know, obviously they're into like speedrunning and stuff, and like, well, not just speedrunning Tetris, but like high scores and like competitive Tetris is very big. And it's hard to be competitive when everyone's playing like 25 million different versions of the game, you know, like it's hard to compare how well you're doing if someone's playing something totally different. And it means that the community is kind of very splintered. Like there's a lot of little sub communities for different versions of the game. Like classic Tetris is very big, with the classic Tetris World Championships happening every year, which I think is very cool. But it's a specific version of the game that you have to get into specifically, and it's, yeah, I don't know. I found it a little bit frustrating, but I think this version is criminally underrated, just because it has some mechanics differences. But I think that's okay. You know, it's okay for things to be different sometimes. Here's my little AirPods case. It's a little can of baked beans. I'm just gonna swap which ear's in because my right ear's getting tired. And it's so cool. They automatically swap which one is using the microphone based on which one's in your ear. So now, this will be the connected microphone, which is so cool to me. Yeah, I can rub this one on my leg and you can't hear it. That's so crazy. I didn't realize they were so advanced. I got them for free. I think I've already said that in this stream, but they were free. I have to say that because previously I would judge people quite heavily who were AirPod havers, for it being a kind of, I didn't understand why the money would go to that rather than like food. But you know, they're okay. They're okay. They're handy. It's handy that they have microphones in them. I think that's pretty sick. I forgot the brick wobble was turned on. Everything's getting a bit wild. I think a thing some people find really frustrating is that it's not classic Tetris, but yet it doesn't have things that people have come to expect from modern Tetris, which is like, you know, a hold box and stuff, which it makes the transition hard for them, you know, and also you have to do quite a lot of active thinking, and like line up your moves and everything, which not everyone is on board with. I you know, I get it. It's a different way of playing. But I would have thought there would be more than none people on board with it. So far I've found nobody else who is actively invested in this game. And maybe one or two people who've been intrigued to hear about it. So, you know, that's honestly quite a big part of the reason that I wanted to stream, was because I just want more people to play this game. I think it deserves it. See, I was pretty proud of how this was going, and then I just looked at how much time I have left, and I should be almost done with my second one by now. Well, not almost done, but I should be deep into it. Just in order to be able to actually finish the level. That's the thing that's so hard about it. Okay. AirPods rule. Fine. You know what? They're pretty cool. I went to the shop the other day, and when I put my mask on, I didn't have to like mess around with the wires, and that was incredible. Yeah, so the block wiggle can be on or off. I used to play with it on all the time as just like, I don't know, some kind of point of pride that I physically could. And then someone I was playing 2-player with was like, that needs to go. So it had been off, and then when I was streaming yesterday, someone asked to see it, so here we are, it's on. If it starts making you feel sick, I can turn it off, but I'm kind of enjoying it. I'm quite excited. I want to play 2-player mode on stream. I think it's extremely fun, and I really love how it kind of handicaps. So the way it works is you play like rounds of 3 against each other, and then you either go up or down in level depending on who wins. So it makes it for actually a very even game, which I have not seen replicated in any other version of Tetris. But I mean, it may exist. There's a lot of versions of Tetris. They're making a new one. That line piece is 1 block too far over. Ooh. See, it should have just dropped down that hole, but didn't, because I messed it up. Ugly. Think of all the things we could have done if it was already down that hole, you know? Damn. Really? Not even once? The thing I hate is that L pieces won't tuck in this game. They just like ping on top. Unless you really force them. Which I think is a bit rude. And now we are playing at the very top of the screen, which is obviously my favourite place to play, and I'm not scared at all. Oops. It's fine. You didn't see anything. Nothing happened. I also think this game just looks so good. Like, it has so much going for it in like every area of its appearance. And I just think it looks so cool. I don't know if that's me being like overly nostalgic because this is the version of Tetris that I played growing up, which is probably also why like I'm one of the only people who actually cares about this version of the game, because I imagine many other people, you know, with things like Tetris DS, um, or like, you know, and then older played the arcade games and stuff, but or classic Tetris. You know, it's just a very specific set of circumstances that led to this being the one that I latched onto, you know. I see a question in the chat and I must not think about it until this is over. Pesto. Oh no. I should have looked at what was coming next. That's my fault. But see, like, even if I finished it in the next 5 seconds, like, I don't have enough time left to win. You just have to be, like, so on it from the absolute start.
Alright.
My least favorite version of Tetris. So, I've played quite a few versions of Tetris. I think that most of them are pretty okay. I hate the mobile apps. The mobile apps suck. The old mobile app was better. The new one is bad. The controls are always bad. Touchscreen Tetris just never really works, in my opinion. I think it's good that it's accessible because Tetris is available on pretty much any platform you can imagine in some form. And I guess that has to include mobile phones, but the controls are just always stink. It's just never good. It's never good. It's always imprecise. It's always slow. Yeah. I think any kind of mobile touchscreen Tetris is my least favorite. Touch Tetris on Tetris DS though is underrated. Again, it's a fun little puzzle version, and it's not like real Tetris. You're not against a clock. You just kind of have to arrange them, and then they all fall down. They cascade in a similar way to this. So I guess that's probably why I like that. But yeah, like mobile versions of Tetris suck. I think if you're gonna have such a limited set of controls and you don't adapt for it in any way, I think that's the mark of like a bad game. In my opinion. Totally messed that up. Okay. Oh no. Things are going wrong. Things are going wrong quite fast. And it's like, yay, now I might not die, but I have 1 minute left to do this twice. Like, cool. Cool fact. At least the music's great. When I'm losing on this game, I'm just always like, music's great though. Doesn't matter. Music's amazing. Here it comes. One thing that I guess kind of disincentivizes you from restarting is that the music, the track will reset if you restart, but if you just keep going, if you just bear with it, it doesn't, it's seamless. So I don't know if that was like on purpose or if that's just there's some kind of like clever coding reason why that had to be the case. But it's honestly a great incentive to not just skip every time you think you're gonna lose. Also, also because sometimes you think you're gonna lose and then you actually don't. Like you just kind of get like a wind out of nowhere and you just smash it, and you would have given up on that, but you didn't because the music was too great. And now you've won. So like, sometimes it happens like that. Something I've always kind of wanted to ask, does like everyone do other stuff while they're watching people's streams? Because like, unless it's incredibly involved, I'm always doing something else, you know? I'm never just sitting there just watching. Unless it specifically demands it, right? Like if it's like an interactive kind of situation. But if it's just like a regular stream, like this one, I would definitely be doing something else at the same time. Not to judge you if you're not. I think that's cool. You're very dedicated and focused, and I wish I was like you. But the thing with Tetris is if you're not paying attention, it's very easy to just like, you just zone. It's a very zony game. Maybe I should play it in an altered state of mind. Maybe that would be fun. Maybe I'll be more focused. Maybe I would be way worse at it. Because if you play it too much, you do start dreaming in Tetris a little bit. It's kind of fun. It's kind of creepy. Mostly it's just something you have to tolerate. Usually though, when I shut my eyes and see Tetris, that's no when I know I've gone a little bit too far. See, you say congratulations, but it feels patronizing, and she's gonna tell me I had a great time as well. I think because it's like within the top 10 that I've done it. Oh no. She knows it's not a good time. I think if you get less than 2 minutes and it's within like the top 10 times you've done that level, they're like, great time. I like when they're like, wow! It's one of my favorite ones. I always think like, where are those voice actors now? You know, like do they Do they know that they're being streamed on Twitch? Do they think anyone still plays this game? Probably not. They probably if you tracked them down and you were like, hey, it's you, they'd be like, oh god, I did this in the 90s. They might not even still be alive. The voices of the Next Tetris. A bit of a morbid thought, but you know. Obviously, I hope that they are still alive. See, this is what happens when no one says anything in the chat. I just mumble to myself, and then I look back on it later, and it's very embarrassing. That's what happened when I leveled up to level 11. I thought I was on my own. I don't know if I was. I think I had one viewer, but they weren't saying anything, so I just presumed that they weren't real. With two of you sticking it out, you know, I'm gonna get some real impressive stats in my inbox later. They're gonna be like 100% more. For some reason, I'm kind of just stuck on imagining the horror of streaming when Gem's home. But if they're not actively involved, like just streaming and I'm not the only person in the house, it's just horrifying. But I don't know, I kind of find it hard to be on phone calls when there's people around. I just get really quiet.
3.
I used to not really have much shame about it, and then my mom would tell me to shut up in the middle of the night when I was on Skype. And that was embarrassing. I haven't lived at home for 6 years now. No one's gonna tell me to shut up. I can do what I want, but it's still in there. Just, I don't know, the shame of being heard. Goodness. See, this would all be well and good if I had some more time left.
Congratulations.
2 minutes is not. In theory, it could be enough time to do it, but they would have to be record-breaking runs. I'm getting random little, like, electrical stabby feelings in my foot. It's very weird. I guess it's one of those things that bodies do sometimes, but it's not very reassuring, you know? It's kind of crazy that, like, we're so good at technology, right? But pretty much everything is just kind of like, well, it works, but we're not really sure why. But so much of science is just like, we think this is probably it. And we just go with it, and then we base our entire understanding of the world off of that for like a couple of years or whatever until someone either proves or disproves it. But it's crazy that everything is just run like that, you know? Especially companies. Companies are run like that extremely, extremely so. It's all very inefficient. Not even gonna finish it twice. Boom. I need to be more aggressive on the soft dropping. Because if I'm not aggressive about dropping them, it's just too slow. I try and be nice about it, and then it's like, time's up. I've just wasted a lot of time because it's a mess, really.
Three.
Oh, thank goodness. Uh-oh, my peripheral vision just noticed all the stuff moving around on my computer screen. I got very distracted, that's not helpful. T-spin. Except this version of the game does not recognize T-spins, which I think is another thing that puts it against guideline. People love their all clears, people love their T-spins, people love their Tetris being the thing that gets you the most points. People love their standard color tetraminos. Are they called tetraminos? In my head I always want to say tetrominos, but I know that that's not right. I think that's not right. I'm not sure if that's right.
Three.
Come on, give me something with a single block. Okay.
All right.
Tetraminos and tetrominos. Yeah, I mean, my head instinctively goes tetrominos, and then I second guess myself and go, that can't possibly be how it's said. I'm trying to remember. There's another word for them as well. Pieces. But I hate when people call the square the O piece. I think that's very ugly and it makes me sad. It's a square. And then they also call lines I pieces. I think that's ugly in a very similar way. And it makes my heart just a little bit sad. Come on, this is not productive. How many times have you heard that in your life? Too many. How many times did you say it to yourself? Also too many. Oh no, this is getting ugly. This is, you lose concentration for 1 second and it's over. I kind of can't believe that this is the same console that was failing to play Myst like an hour ago. It's pretty incredible. It couldn't, for some reason it couldn't load like any of the beginning video. But, you know, we're here. As long as whatever part of the console that plays Tetris is okay, I don't care. I had a look on eBay and they're going for about £50 at the moment. And I think if I'm gonna get a new console, I'll get a PlayStation 2. Because PlayStation 2s can play PlayStation 1 games natively, they're compatible. And they can play PlayStation 2 games, which are better. I think PlayStation 2s are probably the best console. The square, the L, the line, the T, and the Tetris. Wait, which one's the Tetris? Which one's the Tetris? I would say the square, the line, and then there's it's L and J pieces. I don't know which one's which. I cannot, for the life of me, tell which one is which. The squiggly one. Oh no, they're called Z's or S's or Z's. Obviously American, but Z's and S's. And I don't know which one's which either, so I just use them interchangeably. A Tetris is when you get 4 lines at once, because it's the maximum you can get in regular standard Tetris. That's what a Tetris is. I just hate when people call the square the O piece. I know technically, like, it is, like, if you were following the same kind of alphabet designation rules, like, it is an O, but it's extremely ugly. This is a way of talking about things. Fun. Oh crap. I misjudged what I had in the holding thing for some reason. So even though this doesn't use standard colors as per guideline, it does have predictable colors. So a lot of the time I do use the color of the piece just out of the corner of my eye to tell me what's coming up next, which is something you can't do in classic Tetris because the colors change every few levels. There's like a kind of a blue scene and a purple scene, and I hate that. I do have an NES. I do occasionally try and play classic Tetris, but it's mostly just because I got caught up in the hype of the classic Tetris World Championships a couple years ago. The same year everyone got caught up in the hype of them. And I'm not actually any good at classic Tetris at all. I find it impossible. I was so convinced I was gonna get good at it and I was gonna like compete and stuff. I could never. I could never. It's just not in my future. I do still kind of want to go to the Classic Tetris World Championships, but like just to watch or maybe to play. Like maybe I should get really good at like Dr. Mario or something because they have like a Dr. Mario round. Classic Tetris is extremely intimidating, and they just the techniques that they use are incredible. And I kind of didn't really realize that Tetris is a thing that people would be speedrunning. Because for some reason I just presumed it was all games that I just do not care about. Because let's face it, a lot of games I just don't have the capacity to care about because they're about shooting people or whatever, and it's just not. I just don't have it in me. I don't think it's fun to pretend to kill people. I don't know why that's controversial, but apparently it is. Oh crap, I need no, I don't, I need a T. There we go. Bam. It didn't help as much as it could have done because I messed up some other stuff and wasn't thinking far enough ahead. There we go.
Congratulations.
That was so slow. Yes, the whole thing is called Tetris. Because I don't know if you heard that because I took it out of my ear. Yeah, the whole thing is called Tetris because there's 4 little squares go into making up one of the pieces. 4 is like the whole thing. I know that there are some versions of Tetris that use pentominoes, which that's extremely cool, but I think it would break my brain to try and do that after so many years of playing regular Tetris. Not regulation Tetris, but regular Tetris. I do keep thinking to myself, like, I'm gonna get fed up with the sound of my own voice soon. But it is kind of fun to just chat rubbish into an earbud and it just goes out on the internet. It's pretty cool. Technology's come so far. We can do so much. And like, I don't know, is everyone up to speed with the mechanics of like how this particular version of Tetris is working with like the gravity and stuff? Because I know it can be a bit confusing. Damn. Ooh. Pentis, I suppose. Like pissed. It's all. Excuse me. It's all in the same ballpark. What time is it? You know? Oh. 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock here. I'm going to bed soon. I've got work in the morning. Because somehow I ended up working a 9 to 5. Well, an 8 to 4, but you know, same concept. I keep thinking it's like a Friday or something. Like I really want it to be. I really want it to be a Friday. It's not. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday? Again, I see that I have messages, and I'll get back to it once this is over. I can't be reading. And I made a mistake in my first stream, which was yesterday. Was it? Which was Sunday. That I had the chat displayed way too large on my computer, and I was just reading it the whole time, and I just could not manage a single text. The singular of Tetris is Tetris. I'm just going to. Oh boo. Oh boo. Again. Come on.
Alright.
Yeah, not bad. The gravity's a little strange. Yeah, so they did bring back gravity for a type of Tetris called Cascade Tetris that I think was in Tetris Worlds either 3 or 4. And then they also brought back the sticky bricks function with the split colors in Tetris Worlds either 3 or 4. The one that didn't have Cascade in had sticky Tetris in. But as far as I know, they've never done them together anywhere else. But I think that they're just, those two things are just made for each other. But that's what makes it controversial, because it does kind of remove it like almost a little bit too far from standard Tetris for people to be comfortable with that. I think people just get a little bit antsy. It's fine. It's just a little bit too new for some people. And it's not new, but the whole point when it came out was that it was the next Tetris, right? The whole point. It's what it's called. It's what it's called. That's what it's for, to me. It was supposed to be new. It was supposed to be exciting. It was supposed to be a little bit controversial, I think. But unfortunately, it didn't really work to its favor, and it just ended up being forgotten. It's another thing that plenty of people wish had stayed in the 90s. But, it's special. It's special to me. I was gonna say one day, I'll be less defensive, but I don't think I will, because honestly, I've been so burnt by how aggressive people were to me the first time I tried to mention that I was playing this game, in any kind of online Tetris space. Oh boy, people were very mean. It does make it a little bit hard to transition to regular Tetris after you play this for a while, because you do some fun, you make some funny choices because you think things are gonna fall down. Like lining up eyepieces over lines. I didn't want to say lining up lines. Lining up lines over holes that you think they're gonna fall into, and then they just don't, because that's not how regular Tetris works. Can look a little bit silly, but I think it's worth it. People spend a lot of time building up their muscle memory for guideline Tetris. So anything that diverges from that can cause them issues, I guess. There are issues. Difficulties. Ooh, if I get onto a third round, this will be a record. I don't know if I will, but it's close. Oh yeah, I will.
Congratulations.
Right, that's the thing. Like, so many versions of Tetris now are just the same thing, but repackaged. Like, they just put a new skin on it, and then they're like, "It's Tetris again," and you're like, "Thanks, thanks for this Tetris. I already had Tetris before, and this is the same, but cool." Um, and they're always trying to do new things, but it's just funny to me that the community is just so resistant to something new that happened literally 22 years ago. Yes, 22. Obviously, I'm not gonna win, but that's the furthest I've gotten on this level. I completed it twice. Now I have to do it a whole other time, but that's okay. It took me about a month of semi-regular play to get from level 9 to level 10. It took me about, well, I can't really quantify it like that because I put it down for a long time in between to get from level 8 to level 9. Sometimes I really hate when they just drop that one off underneath them because it just means that now you have to build to another line higher to do anything. Oh, come on. There you go. See, I thought this was gonna maybe be like the start of a really good thing, and then here we are. And I've still not finished it. And I looked at the clock when I had like 3 minutes 30 left, and I was like, oh, I'm so close. Maybe I'll do it. No. Wrong. And then with sections like this, you just have to make sure that you're not building on the wrong thing. Yeah, fine.
Congratulations. Quick
Like,
time.
she's saying congratulations and great time, but that was like an entire minute slower than I needed it to be. To have any chance. To stand any chance of beating this, I needed that to be so much faster. Something that I get caught out by a lot is that sometimes they are rotated to a different angle and then they like fly in and rotate some more. So I do some little unnecessary rotations because I thought they would be facing a different direction. That's one little gripe that I have. Oh, this is going badly. Oh, well, that was okay. But the thing is, things like that are very fun, but they're not fast. and that's the main issue. I've seen a lot of people say that, oh yeah, if you just play that for an hour, you can just get a really good score, and then like that's what's the point in even playing the game? It's not hard enough. And to that I say you were playing the wrong mode. Because the score marathon, yeah, if you play it for an hour, you can figure it out, and you can figure out that no, the top speed of the pieces isn't that high. And if you get a piece in a bad drop, you can just keep rotating it pretty much infinitely. You probably won't die. But with this mode, there's just so much pre-planning that has to take place that it's honestly I don't know, it's not easy. But I think that's part of why it could make like a really good addition to the kind of regularly played Tetris games these days, because it's just, it's very unique. And I think it has a lot going for it. I'm really excited to get to do a multiplayer stream at some point. I will try and make that happen as soon as possible, to be honest. I just have to rope gem in. But they already agreed in principle, so. I thought that piece was that piece. Boo. I'm getting tired. But sometimes when I'm very tired, that's also when I play the best, because I just kind of let it happen a little bit more. But it's a lot less predictable. Oh. One more go. One more go, and then I think it's time for bed. Including the Mist stream, that's over 2 hours of content. I'm like a DVD special. Remember DVDs? Remember like owning stuff? That was fun, right? I don't think I've bought a movie in God, a long time. I still buy music because I care about music more than I care about movies. But I mean, only occasionally. And still, of course, a Spotify subscriber. I've had Spotify Premium since 2012, 2013. I was a student for a while. I've definitely had more than my allotted 4 years of student Spotify. I think I've had about six. Because they didn't add the requirement that you could only have it for 4 years. Um, until, well, recently. And then when I started my master's degree, I was like, hell yeah, I get student Spotify again. No, did not. Oh my goodness, I'm tired. Just talking rubbish. It's so wobbly. My eyes are going mad. I can't tell if that was a good move or a really bad one. Oh, maybe a bad one.
Alright.
Alright. Don't patronize me. No, I'm making silly mistakes. I'm making silly mistakes. Oh, this isn't gonna be a triumphant go, I don't think. Yeah, no. Yeah, I've got 30 seconds. It's not gonna be a triumphant last round today. Boo. Oh no. Oh, did I top out? Or did the time end? We'll never know. Oh, another thing about this is that if you build a big enough section of the same color, it will explode. I think it's more plus it too. Yeah. That's just a fun mechanic that they don't really tell you about. It just happens to you. And you're like, huh? And then, yeah, that's that. Okay. It's 20 past 10. Gotta get up at 7. I think it's bedtime. Tetris. This is the best menu music I've ever heard. Okay. Anyway, thanks for coming. Appreciated the support. And yeah, be back soon.